Finally closed. The Texas house is officially sold and gone and off our hands. Never again will you ever see that house or that garage. And this might be the last and final video in the Texas to Oklahoma moving debacle video series. This video is the conclusion to the Dukes of Hazzard style cliffhanger that I left you with in the previous video. I'm also gonna address a few concerns, answer a few questions that were in the comments on that previous video, and then I'll give you the conclusion to the whole thing and how it all ended, which is pretty interesting, I'll just tell you that. In the comment section, the previous video, the theme was overwhelmingly, your agent is an idiot. She should have done this. She should have done that. I completely agree, but also at the same time, in my experience, agents aren't required at closing, and the title companies don't care about them. Yeah, they got, commissions to disperse. But in my situation, my agent, she did not need to be at this closing. The title company dropped the ball. And really, it turned into her spending 2 business days at the title company in person, fighting and pushing for this sale to close and for everyone to get paid. And she was treated very poorly. We'll get into that. She didn't need to be there. She didn't need to do that, but she did. That's all I have to say about about that. One last thing about the comments on the previous video is I was blown away by them. You had your pitchfork and your tiki torch, and you were ready to march down to the title company on my behalf. And I'm glad you didn't. That wouldn't have been a pretty sight. Appreciate that. And that reminded me of one of the reasons why I make these videos for you is, well, I like making them, and you actually give a hoot and you let me know that. Okay, so the conclusion to the cliffhanger. Let me check on this wood stove. First off, if you're coming into this cold and you have no idea about people trying to scam me out of my house and how I've been trying to sell my house for almost a year in Central Texas and the ups and downs and the woes of all that kind of stuff and trying to buy in rural Oklahoma, it's in the description. The whole video playlist is there. Assuming you're up to speed though, because I know you're just itching for every new video that I give you and you're just clinging on to every word, right? Every action-packed second. So the cliffhanger I left you with was tried to close on Friday, didn't work out. The weekend went by, then tried to close on Monday. The buyers were psychotic, and the title company was very possibly blowing smoke up everyone's behind. The lender was probably thinking, what are all these people doing? What kind of a 3-ring circus is this? So what happened after that video ended? To paint the picture for you, my agent, who didn't really need to be there, was down at that title company office. I wasn't there. She's down there all day. This is nothing against these people because I don't know them. And I don't know what their story is. A couple in their 20s, probably buying their first house. The wife, she is just blaming everything on my agent. And remember, I'm not there. It's my agent at the title company office, their agent off and on or checking in by phone or something, and then the buyers, the young married couple. And I'm just getting telephone calls from my agent. At one point it was every half an hour, every 15 minutes, getting updated on what's going on down there. And this young woman is just blaming everything on her. The buyer's agent is feeding this fire. 1% the buyer and 99% the title company that caused all these problems that could be avoided with cash. But, most people don't have that much cash around, right? I guess that's why there's mortgages. Not trying to tell you anything you don't already know, of course. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it and land the plane on this story here. So as you saw in the previous video, I have an loaded enclosed U-Haul trailer in the empty garage. I've got a lawn chair in there. In the house, the whole house is empty, except for there is a pet carrier, a suitcase, and my daughter's cat up on top of the kitchen cabinets. To get that cat in that pet carrier, this is important. This is like watching an episode of Columbo. You can't miss any piece of information here. It won't make sense. The cat takes an hour to try to catch and get into that pet carrier, because I had to do it when people would come look for the house. Well, I got the cat just loose. The cat's on top of the kitchen cabinets. The pet carrier's on the kitchen floor. It's almost 5. I bring that lawn chair into that empty house, and I sit down on it, and I put my legs up on that pet carrier. I lean back, and I'm thinking, this is never going to happen. My agent keeps calling me every so minutes. This woman's psycho. She's on her mobile phone right now writing up 1-star reviews on me. My agency didn't even represent her, and she's trying to destroy my online reputation. As soon as you get your money, let me know. I'm thinking this isn't even going to happen. I'm kind of thinking it is because the agents got their commissions, but I'm thinking if this even happens, it's not going to happen by 5. We are beyond deadline for wires, and where's my money? It's almost 5. So if this happens, it's not going to be today. I'm spending another night here. So the cat's up there. I got the pet carrier, suitcase, the trailer. My truck's not hooked up to it. Kick back. My agent calls me again and says, please keep checking your bank account. If you get the money, let me know right away, because this woman is just tearing me apart. Now here's the ending. I'm sitting there thinking this is not going to happen. And then right before 5, I start to think differently. I start to think, whoa, wait a minute. These people are probably circling the wagons. The original plan was when I get paid, okay, the keys can be transferred, but my agent and their agent will agree on a time. You know, this was a goofy situation where, because the closing got all goofed up, he's still there. He can't leave until this is finalized. So when he does get the money and we're officially closed, you know, let's plan to meet up in a couple hours or the next morning or something so that, you know, he can get out of there. Well, I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen. These people are probably driving, or one of them's probably in the title office screaming. The other one's probably driving circles around the block. And so I jump up out of that chair and, oh, here comes my daughter's cat right now. I jump up out of that chair, scale the kitchen cabinets. Somehow this cat lets me grab it right away, put her in the pet carrier. Can't believe that happened that fast. Put the pet carrier in the truck, threw the suitcase in the truck, tossed the lawn chair in the truck, and I start hooking up to the trailer. I got the garage, the overhead door open now, and I backed the truck up. I only spent about, it hasn't even been 10 minutes. My agent calls me again. Please, check your bank account. Check it again, would you please? Yes, ma'am. Get off the phone with her. I check it. Oh, the money just showed up. Now I'm thinking, oh, geez, I'm glad I started doing this. And I thought, okay, keep hooking up to this trailer and double check you have everything out of here and let her know you got the money. Well, she calls me. Did you check it? Did you check it? Did you check it? Please let me know if you got it, because as soon as you do, as soon as you have the money, I'm handing this woman the keys. And I said, yes, ma'am, I have the money. And she said, I'm giving her the keys. So now, I'm not kidding you. My agent shows up in about 5 minutes. And rang on me for how long it's taken me to hook this trailer. Okay, that's fine. But she shows up quick. And she actually parked down the street a ways and walked over, possibly because she didn't want the buyers to see her car. You know, I'd be interested to see what you have to say about her judgment on this, because she had no business being there at this point. She comes up the driveway, asks me if everything's fine, and, oh, did you get everything out? And I said, oh, I think so. And she said that she would go walk through the house and make sure that I got everything. She goes in, the buyer, the husband, comes pulling out. He doesn't park in the driveway, you know, as if it's his house. For some reason, he parks on the street, and then a buddy of his, I assumed it was a buddy, shows up in a different car and parks across the street, and he stays in his car. So the buyer's here, his buddy's in in another vehicle across the street, and he stays in there, and the wife isn't there. And if there's kids, I don't know if there were or not, but they weren't there. So is this guy geared up for a possible confrontation? And now here's the next part. Okay, we're landing the plane on this. He comes walking up the driveway. He's not really looking at me. And I'm not saying anything negative about this guy. And I'm not about to suggest that I'm stronger and tougher than he is and he's weak and scared. But he is in fight or flight mode, or he's nervous or scared, or he's just so enraged that it appears that he's scared. His breath is a little short, his words are quick and short, and his voice is kind of high. Extremely agitated, nervous, scared, one of those or all the above. And I say, "Hi, how are you?" He doesn't hear that. He's doing that thing, and this is not, I'm just pointing out what happened. But he's doing that thing that people do these days where they're glued to these mobile phones, right? He's got someone on a call listening for his safety, maybe, or it could just be in my head. But he's got someone on a voice or video call in his hand, and he keeps looking down at it, and he's, "What's she doing in the house?" And I don't know, probably making sure everything is good to go for everybody. I said something to that effect. He's doing these little spins, and I don't know if you know this or not, but we got some stuff going on. Okay. The agent comes out of the house into the garage, and they walk past each other. He doesn't say anything to her, and he goes inside. And I can hear him stomping around all over, opening and closing all the doors. And she says, "Are you going to be okay? Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she says, "Oh, okay. I'm going to go then." And that guy stayed in the house until I pulled out of the driveway with the trailer behind me. And as soon as I pulled out onto the street, I look in my mirror, and he's coming down the driveway. So he's out of the house now, and his buddy gets out of his car, and I can see them, and they meet at the bottom of the driveway, and then they go together up into the house. What are we doing, guys? What? Because, there's the thing where you can, I don't know, make up whatever story you want in your head, but either these people, there's something going on with them, or they're entitled brats or something. I don't know. Or my agent did something to them. I don't know. And it was really weird because I was in that house for about 5 years. And then I'm sitting in there, and I had, double checked everything because I'm ready to leave for these people. I'm not dragging my feet, but this closing, just how it went, and then it's almost 5 o'clock, and the money's not here. And so it's just kind of weird, felt weird to me, though, because I'm lived there for 5 years, and then I'm sitting there in that position thinking this isn't even going to happen. And even though I've triple checked everything and was going to, after I rushed to get the cat out and all that stuff, I was going to go back in there because I'm that type of person where I triple check everything, and I didn't do it because the dude was in there. It's his house, and I knew I had gotten everything, but it just felt weird, and that's how I pulled away from that house, and to never see it again. Now, there is one car left behind in that town in an outdoor storage facility. So we do got to go and get that. Yeah, I don't know. Just a weird deal. So, in closing, pun not intended, these buyers have a much larger mortgage on that house than I did, and their interest rate is more than double. They are fresh on a 30-year loan, $10,000 or more, every 12 months on property tax and homeowners insurance. And we all know none of that's ever getting any cheaper. So have fun with that and your no yard